What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Liam, and I pick fights. Plain and simple, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about Prize Picks and their offering for UFC this week, because I think that we can put together a decent spot here if we look carefully at the card. And so what I like to do, I like to take a numbers-based approach to my MMA capping, but I also like to think about the fight stylistically. I have a background in wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so when I look at these fights, sometimes I like to target these guys who I think have some wrestling upside, some grappling upside, who might be able to exceed expectations, who maybe people are sleeping on, or maybe somebody who's a little bit undervalued. And so when we start looking at this card this weekend, what I think that we have is two decent spots that we could try and take advantage of on Prize Picks that I think have some legs to them. And so if we look, taking a look first towards the Movsar Evloev fight. This is the co-main event of the evening, guys. Very big fight. And I'm looking at the over on the Movsar Evloev fantasy points as one of my prop projections here. Why am I looking at this? Now, I thought about Movsar Evloev, and I thought about maybe we go over takedowns, right? This is a guy, he's a Russian. He's going to come out there. He's going to look for a lot of takedowns, and he's going to get them at a pretty high rate. We've seen he's a very effective grappler in the UFC, and we've seen that he has pretty good defensive grappling chops as well. He was in a very deep submission attempt against Mike Grundy, so he's shown that he could wrestle offensively, he can wrestle defensively. However, my concern with the 3.5 takedowns prop projection is that's basically assuming that this fight goes the distance. I think it's most likely that this fight goes the distance. However, there is definitely a world in which Movsar Evloev could finish this fight. Dan Ige has shown that he could be taken down at times. He could be controlled at times. He's also been hurt in multiple UFC fights, not been finished to this point. If Movsar Evloev is able to get a finish like he is claiming that he wants to, like he wants to get a first-round finish, then there's a chance he exceeds his fantasy points based on that alone. If not, he still has a style that is very likely to put up a high number of fantasy points. You look at DraftKings, they're saying 98.1 projected fantasy points, whereas meanwhile, Prize Picks is offering us 95.5. So different fantasy point projection. We're getting a little bit of a better number. I think we take the over, and I think that we give ourselves a good chance. Movsar's going to score a lot with takedowns. If he gets takedowns, he does not have the best control time, right? So we might see him get takedowns and let the guy back up. That means multiple takedowns. That means more chances for him to score, including with significant strikes. So Movsar Evloev in the co-main event, he's being positioned, in my opinion, to take a big step forward in that featherweight division. You'll remember he had a booked fight with Ilia Topuria that fell through. The UFC has been trying to put this guy in big spots, big opportunities. I think he's going to capitalize on a big opportunity this week against Dan 50K Ige. And I think that maybe he gets that 50K bonus, but I certainly hope he goes over that total 95.5 projected fantasy points. Now we turn our attention to the flyweight division. Guys, we have in this fight a very interesting matchup because we have on the one hand Zhalgas Zhumagulov. He's a guy who's kind of clinging to that UFC spot. He's had a bunch of close fights with high-level competition. He was finally able to get over that hump. He got a first-round win submitting Jerome Rivera in brutal fashion. If you guys didn't see that, he got that guillotine, pushed him right up against the cage, had no chance. Jerome Rivera, he was on wobbly legs, and he got caught in a very vicious head-in-the-hole guillotine. No chance of surviving that one. But we look at this matchup, and it pits a very interesting stylistic where Jeff Molina has shown a little bit of a liability to takedowns thus far in the UFC. He's averaging 2.14 takedowns for his opponents. He's giving up 2.14 takedowns per 15 minutes. Meanwhile, you got a guy like Zhalgas. He's been attempting takedowns at a very high rate, nearly 6 takedowns attempted per 15 minutes in the octagon. The problem is he hasn't been getting them at a very high rate. He's been getting them at a rate just lower than 2 per fight. However, we have seen him hit this number multiple times in the UFC. I think he can eclipse this number against somebody like Jeff Molina. Why? Jeff Molina has a good get-up game. So he's a guy who doesn't spend a lot of time. I think it's 14% of his time in fights being controlled by his opponent. So that's very small. Meanwhile, Zhalgas is going to be attempting these takedowns at a high rate. What does that equal? That equals Zhalgas attempting a lot of takedowns, Molina likely getting back to his feet. And if Molina is able to get back to his feet, Zhalgas might take him right back down again. And we could get over this takedown total in the first round, even if Zhalgas loses the fight. Let's say Zhalgas goes out there, he's able to secure a couple takedowns. Molina pops back to his feet. He's shown that he's a willing and worthy scrambler. Okay, now Zhalgas goes for another takedown, another takedown. Now we're looking at a chance to cash this bet. while we have a guy who might not even have to win the fight. Even if Zalgas gets outstruck, even if he gets out scrambled, even if he gasses out, if he's able to secure these 3 takedowns in the first 7.5 minutes of the fight, we're already walking away with a big smile on our face and very thankful that Jeff Molina gives up some takedowns at a pretty high clip. So with all that being said, I think that we put together a pretty good 2-leg play here for Prize Picks. That being said, you guys might be thinking, what made it to the cutting room floor? What were you half certain about? I already mentioned, I thought about Movsar Evloev over on takedowns. I already thought about the Damon Jackson over on takedowns as another potential leg. You see a guy in Damon Jackson, he's eclipsed this 2 is his current takedown projection. He's eclipsed that number before in the UFC. Against Charles Rosa, he was able to rattle off 6 takedowns, and he got taken down twice. So this is a guy who spends a ton of his time grappling in his fights. He's a big guy. He should have a size advantage in this fight, and I think he's going to be looking to grapple all the time. So if that's the case, I think Damon Jackson getting over 2 takedowns is very viable. But the reason it didn't make it to my final play here was just because what if Damon Jackson takes him down and submits him early? You know, what if he takes him down and rides it out for a control round the rest of the way? These are the kind of concerns I have. You know, the Molina pick, I really liked it because Molina has shown that get-up game, that willingness to scramble and try and get back to his feet. So I think that actually sets up more opportunities for takedowns for a guy like Zalgas. So with all that being said, guys, I hope that you guys have been pubbing out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, go ahead and drop a like on this video. You know that helps out. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I know you probably are already, but if you aren't, then go ahead and get subscribed because you're not going to want to miss the next time we do a great video like this. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in, for supporting. If you guys are riding with me, go ahead and drop a comment below. Let me know that you're riding with me. If you think, hey, Liam, you're off it this week, let me know what your favorite Prize Picks plays are in the comment section below. I will let you know what I think of those plays accordingly. So thank you guys all very much for your time. I truly appreciate it. God bless you all. My name is Liam Picks Fights. This has been Pub Sports Radio. We be pubbing each and every week. Make sure you tune in Saturday. We're going live. We're going to be talking about these fights live as they're happening, giving out live bets, having a wonderful time. And I hope you'll join us and not miss 1 second of the fun because I know that I'll be there and I hope you'll join us too. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Until next time, we be pubbing.